Hey guys, welcome to my blog. This is officially a second blog for this channel. I try my level best to make more videos. Just a disclaimer, my videos would be more concentrated on the corporate culture, corporate life. I'm not a guru. I'm not trying to teach anyone. I'll be sharing a real-time examples over this channel. If you really feel that that's beneficial, do comment on the videos. If you feel that I am doing something wrong or I need some improvements or you feel something is wrong, then do also comment so that I can also learn. So today's topic I'm gonna cover is which I feel is very important for everyone nowadays. There's a scarcity of the job openings. Even if you're applying 100 of the jobs, you're only getting one or two calls, maybe not from your favorite company, organization. I cannot change the leads. I cannot change the call frequency for you guys, but I can always tell you certain things which actually worked for me, always. So before we jump into that, the points, I really want to share something with you first. I took an interview of an engineering manager a couple of days back. So it came to me as an L2. L2 means it's a second round, internal round for us. So one of my peer or the manager under me, he took a first interview. He gave me the heads up about that person, that he or she is good technically, and he or she has certain communication issues, so those kind of things. But overall, he felt like that person can be fit, but he needs a double check from my side. So before we go ahead, so I took an interview. I went on the call, and generally I don't ask technical questions if somebody have already taken interviews on the technical side previously. But when I started with general introduction, like we say, I introduce myself. I ask a person to introduce himself as well. Then he started with the technical things automatically. So during the introduction, he said that I'm working on the technical things, designing, architecture, blah blah, all the buzzwords on that side. So up to that point is not an issue. That's okay. I mean, actually, industry works on the buzzwords. If you don't put the buzzwords in your CV while giving the interviews, there's a very less chances that we get shortlisted, right? And it's okay. I mean, you just have to say those kind of things, right? It's really okay with that. But problem comes when you can't justify what you're saying. Again, the topic for this video, I would say it would be like how you can add more skill sets which can add in your whole journey, or how you can add a more skill set, or how you can tell about additional things which you may not be working, but you have experience in previous organizations or previous work, but you have to fit in your story in your current organization. So coming back to that particular interview, that person gave me the interview. So he ended up saying that I'm working as a technical manager and working with some technologist companies basically. And those technology companies are nothing, they are vendors who deploy their engineers on the client sides. Just take it in that way. So when she said that I'm working with the designing part, architecture side, so I tried to dig in what's his responsibilities. He was not able to justify it, and his point was no. Later, everything was handled by some technical manager. So the bottom line is, the statements that he was giving is changing in every, I would say, 1 minute, and which was contradicting with the CV. Although I like the attitude of the person, he really tried well. Technically, I felt like yes, he is good. Although we don't expect to have a hands-on for this position, but at the end, I didn't shortlisted him. The only reason being because we want a person who understand the technology plus domain side as well. When I say the domain doesn't mean that it's like a healthcare, BFSI and all. Domain means the product. Okay, I think domain is a wrong word, but the product. So product understanding was not there, and person was trying to bluff there a lot. So that's where comes as a first point when you go for the interview. Bluff, it's okay, but it should be a thoughtful. I'll give you an example. I mean, it's a real example for myself, okay? I used to work on the Apache Spark for the data processing. It was like 2.5 years back or 3 years back. In my current organization, I'm not doing anything on the Apache Spark. But if I have to give an interview on the data side, then Spark is something which I think everyone looks forward, right? How I can fit into my story, that's my thing. I have to prepare my interview in a way that I should be justifying it. If I'm saying that I'm working on the Spark and I'm not able to make a story around this thing in my current organization or in my current work, anyone will gonna doubt on that. So don't ever do it. Don't do it. If you feel that you have not worked or you're not confident, remove that. Or if you feel that you have to keep it, but tell us the true story. Fakeness in the interview process is not an issue, but issue is that when you're not able to justify that fakeness. So make sure that we will be very honest with our fakeness. Second thing, during the interview process, what I felt is like, at many instances, people comes with a very casual approach. Casual means like somebody is just sitting on the chair, swinging, folding their hands, back of their head, in a very egoistic manner. They're talking. They're trying to judge your knowledge instead of theirs, basically. Look, maybe you may feel that interviewer is not that much proficient. It's okay, but you cannot caution the interviewer. If you hurt anyone's ego, even if you are a superstar, that person will not going to shortlist you. That is for sure. Again, it may be wrong. I understand those things, but these are the evil truth, I would say, that everyone follows, and that actually works for me as well. So make sure that you give proper respect to your interviewers. Okay, don't challenge them, because they are there to challenge you, not you. The third thing is your facial expression. I'm telling you, this works always. When you start the interview, start with some little bit smile. Don't be a person who is very angry or angry look. Your first impression is a last impression, like we always say, right? But first impression does not mean that when you start speaking. First impression goes with how your facial expressions are as well. So make sure that whenever you talk to someone, and this is not even for the interview process, I would say, this is in general as well. Whenever you're talking to someone, just have a small smile on your face, so the people will comfortable doing it. Greet them. Even if you feel that somebody is having a lower experience than you, doesn't matter. Today's world is changing. Everyone is super egoistic, I'm telling you. They want a respect. a junior, senior, whoever it is. And giving respect is not, should not be the issue. The last thing and the fourth thing I would say, about your learning attitude. Look, this is a very basic thing, but so many people don't follow it. And even I'm not blaming the candidates, even the interviews are also, I feel like at many times they are wrong. Candidate and interviewers both have a different mindsets. When you get shortlisted, when your wavelength matches, right? And it could be technical, it could be non-technical both. So technically, definitely you need to be fit into that particular role. But personally, what I look out for when I take an interview, let's say example, you're a candidate and then I'm taking an interview, you're 50% fitting into my role or 60% fitting into my role. Should I be selecting you or rejecting you? It all depends upon your attitude or your learning capabilities. I don't look out for the people who don't have a good attitude. I look out for people who have a good attitude and the learning capabilities. If you really spend a time on your learnings, I can bet on that person, because I know that a good attitude person, a good learner person can learn anything, even if the person does not know 50% of my fitment key skill sets. But a bad person, or bad person is the wrong word, but a person who does not have a habit of learning may not fit, because that person has a tendency just to stick with the skill set that person knows. And in today's world, it's an ever-changing world. You cannot stick with only few technologies. You have to be very descriptive. You have to know multiple technologies at the same time. If you don't know those things, even if those are the buzzwords, even those buzzwords are not proven in the market, doesn't matter. But if skill set demands it, we have to talk about this thing, and we have to talk about that confidently, not just like I know about those things. Your learning should not depend upon your interview process. This is a habit change. So like we entered into 2026, I would say just have a resolution for 2026 that I'm gonna read all those things. I'm gonna have a habit of reading blogs, 15 minutes per day. So don't pressurize you on certain things that I have to learn this today and blah blah those things. But learning attitude doesn't mean that, I mean, you have to leave your current job or your family responsibilities. It's just like you're sleeping or you're kind of lying on the bed in the night, you're scrolling on the WhatsApp, you're scrolling on the Instagram. Instead of scrolling something else, just scroll over what's happening on the new technology. At least that will give you the heads up that what are the new things going on. Pick up one thing out of that and try to do something. Try to learn this. Try to implement in your organization. Try to tell your boss that, boss, okay, this is something which I have learned. Can we do if that fits into your project? Again, this is a deflection from what we are talking. But having a learning attitude, I'm telling you, this is the biggest gain in the life. 70% of the people to whom I talk, or those are the interview panels or the candidates, fails here. But I'm telling you, this really works. This really works. Technology is an ever-changing thing. You cannot cope up with that. You may know 50 things, but you may not know the 100 things. But if your attitude is good, you can learn anything. So I'll stop here for now. If you have any feedback, anything, please let me know. I'm just started recording these videos. I'll make sure that I'll put up more videos according to my experience only. And if you really have some topics to discuss, please do comment on that. I generally read all the comments positive, negative, everything. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.